Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, if an exorcist is raised in the woods, is it really parenting? This is Kaedegami. Welcome, everybody! With no lungs to draw breath, no throat to speak, and no lips to impart words, I journey on to find my missing body to once again host. This is Moxie, here with my co-host who has never taken his mask off. Oh, oops, I'm sorry, that's just his face. Isekai Sensei-Sama Brad! And joined by special guest, the Dairy to my soon, it's B!
Yay!
Brad, I'm sorry. It was mean. But it was funny. But it was mean.
I always wear a mask. Over my heart.
Your face.
To be fair, much like Chio's mask, if someone tried to pull your face off, there would be a lot of blood.
Yeah.
And we are here with the second of the 4 new series Shonen Jump is dropping, recording on the day, hours after we read it when it came out officially in the West. Hand wavy, because we have a human being who's also in the West, but they're in the East-West. Across the pond.
East by East-West.
East by East-West.
I'll have you know that on the maps we have here, I'm right in the middle.
From the middle.
I mean, let's be fair.
But not from
That's
the Midlands. I've heard about
baby.
the Midlands before. Are you in the Midlands?
Southeast.
Okay.
Greenwich is literally the middle, so...
That's the meantime. It's very angry. It's very mean. Goodness gracious. Everybody.
That's why the English are like that.
They're so mean. So we are covering this new series. Exorcist ?
Yeah, I'd say.
Close enough.
It's close enough, yes.
Demon monster fighter.
They're yokai, so...
They are yokai.
They're not yokai, they're Chinese yokai.
They did give me Jiangxi Ji vibes, even though I don't think... Did we cover that series?
Is that first one not a kappa?
What?
I don't know if it's a Chinese equivalent or not, but it's Shenwai, which are the Chinese equivalent to yokai.
Did we cover
the literal
Jiangxi,
word
or did
that they're
we,
using.
Did we just,
Okay, yeah.
Did that come out shortly before we
haven't
covered
covered it, no.
Okay, I don't want to, but whatever. To get back on track, we're covering Kaedegami, which just dropped in Jump.
If we did cover it, it was so awful that I don't remember
I don't remember it. I think I read it. I think we talked to Ben about it, I think is what I'm thinking about. This was written and arted by Jun Harakawa, who, if my Googling didn't lie, I didn't notice, I don't think they worked on any major series at all, but if the Googling did not lie, they were an assistant on Fabricant 100 for what it's worth. Wink.
That's what
You'll
I've
get
seen
it.
the name
You'll get it
before.
later.
You'll understand why.
You'll understand. Somebody had to be called in to draw those things. And also in our continuing thing when we cover new things in Jump or old things in Jump, to get who the localizer was, this was localized by Casey Lee, who would be printed to us for localizing Kill Blue.
Oh.
Big fans of Kill Blue here.
I wonder what... Somebody just talked about that.
Linka and Luna, Shiba Inu Rooms, Spy X Family. I don't know why I said the X, because I wrote it down and I shouldn't have done that. And very important to the three of us, even though I wasn't there for the episode, Star of Beethoven. Which honestly, I want to give the highest props for, because a lot of that manga is just monologues that make me feel something as an artist. And you know what? If that was localized poorly, it wouldn't be working.
You know what Star of Beethoven reminds me of? There's an episode of Adventure Time where there's a gingerbread man who's like a general, and he like is completely out of his mind. And right near the end of the episode, he has this long monologue, and it's so beautiful, but it doesn't make any sense at all.
I can believe that.
Look it up.
That's basically my whole brand.
This cosmic dance of bursting decadence and withheld permissions twists all our arms collectively, but if sweetness can win, and it can, then I'll still be here tomorrow to high-five you yesterday, my friend. Peace.
Star of Beethoven feels like it might become a battler between resurrected artists from ages of yore, and I don't know. I want
hope
it to
so.
be true, but it won't happen. And also because we're trying to get the letterer, but letterers they've been around longer and they're doing more series. So I just have his name, which is Mark McMurray. So thank you, Casey Lee, Mark McMurray, and Jun Hirakawa for bringing this manga to me. And with that, we have to get to my Moxie's patented manga speed run summary. Mox speed. I missed an M.
Maybe you should write that down.
I shouldn't. I'm just hungry. One unseasonably cold night, in a blaze of scarlet, she appeared before me, even to a small child. It was clear that she was not human. Chapter 1, A Normal Family. We see someone with a strange eye fleeing from a monster in a panic. My, what a beautiful head you have, the monster speaks. Cut to seemingly now, Shiraku Village in the remote eastern frontier. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, or Earth as we know it. What I'm trying to say is I feel like we're in a fantasy world.
No, it's just China.
Is it?
Which, I mean, to the Japanese is a fantasy world.
The remote eastern frontier. Townspeople talk of a terrifying monster killing people in the night, a village over. A Shengguai. Like, that's Chinese, because I know from Yaoguai, from Fallout, is Chinese. Feared since ancient times for their taking and eating of people for seemingly no reason. We then meet our protagonist, Ko. Ko?
Yeah.
Ko. K-O-U. Isn't that like the unit of rice? I think I learned that from Total War Shogun 2.
Okay.
Koku,
I'm sure that
maybe?
got it right.
Creative Assembly. They're an English developer, I believe. They can't get anything wrong when it comes to other countries. We're famously tolerant and inquisitive.
Yes, Ko they may or may not be named after a unit of rice as a thing of like money. Delivering herbs and such to an old woman while he is in town and being given a pot of stew in return. A young girl bumps into him, freaking out over the Shengguai everyone is talking about. But we should be safe here in our village, says the old woman. Except for you, Ko. You live out in the woods by yourself. What's up with that? Are you some kind of hunter? Do the words death for death mean anything to you? Sorry, wrong manga. No, he's perfectly fine living by himself, though it's clear he misses having a proper family. He was abandoned by his father in the woods. Are you sure death for death doesn't mean anything to you? No? Okay, that's my bad. I'm sorry. But it's all okay, because he's not alone. As he enters his house, he calls out Chiyu and is ambushed by a sexy masked woman, but he's able to get the upper hand because he heard her approach. This woman is a Shengguai. Flashback to when he was alone as a child, and she first appeared. She asks him what he's doing out in the woods. Waiting for my dad to get back. Do you always do what adults tell you to do? You've been abandoned for how many days? And for what? We Shengguai do not hold such traits. Our existence is to defy the laws and ravage the world. Ko worries he will be eaten, but she says she's too tired and just wants a nap. They hug, and we are sent into a montage of Chiyo helping raise and train Ko in both mind and body. She's kind, but also kind of a goober.
Cut back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity. Ko asks why she has been helping him. Do you care about me? Of course not, Babaka. But I've just been searching for something for a long time and I'm weary of being alone. You seemed nice, so I am here now with you. Back to now. Now we've cut back to reality.
Okay.
Sorry, you were a little early. Too early reality return.
I'll switch it around.
Thank you. Ko talks to Chiyu about the Shengguai a town over, and she says she's too tired to deal with it and that they should run if it appears. Ko asks her about her past, but she plays it off and takes a nap, not even eating any of the stew Ko got and put out for her. There's so much Ko doesn't know about her. And I mean, he's never even seen what's underneath her mask. He goes
so much he doesn't know about her.
He goes to finally take her mask off as she sleeps, and his fishing rod caught a bite, and she awakes. But well, maybe she was already aware. Why would you want to see my face, child? It'd be nice with no mask. We could smile at each other and share a meal. Even if I removed my mask, there would be nothing for you to see, and I wouldn't eat. So there. Ko appreciates her, but still wishes they could be more like a normal family. Cut to later, and Ko is back in town returning the stew pot to the old woman. When that girl from earlier appears, she's seen the Shengguai, and it's in the woods. Ko rushes back to protect Chiyu, but runs into the monster with a necklace of human heads. He runs to find Chiyu, and the monster talks in surprise that she hasn't possessed the boy as her thrall yet, and goads Chiyu about not telling him anything. The monster removes her mask, revealing a hole where her face should be. In this moment, we are told she is the god Shenggu, who lost its body, and now doomed to wander in misery, the god of war itself. All she wants you for is as a vessel to find her missing body, child. It's a famous story all of Shengguai know, the monster says before lunging out at Ko, and Ko uses pocket sand and escapes with Chiyu in hand. I had to look, it's like, what is that? Is that actually, it's like, yeah, he just scoops it up from the ground.
Shasha!
Ha! He asks her if all that monster said was true, and she comes clean. She's hollow. Her face, entrails to eat with, arms and legs to fight with, and many others has all been taken. She took him in at first as a vessel, but then became close to him. We have to fight and kill that monster because one of the heads he has is mine. Ko is surprisingly excited about this news. If we take that dude down, I finally get to see your face in. Go ahead and use my body as you need it. You saved my life back then and are important to me now. Reaching agreement, this happens then. I don't know why I wrote it like that. Ko, looking mostly human in a new outfit marked by a black cape and hood, strange eyes, and a sword, comes to attack the monster and cuts off the monster's head. Ko awakens, noticing a tattoo-like mark on his arm, and looks up to finally see Chiyo's smiling face. The pair embrace, closer than ever, and determined to get Chiyo's missing body parts back. End of chapter 1.
It's an Exorcist manga!
It's every Exorcist manga.
But I like it. It's fun. I know. I swear it's not just for big titty booty lady. I promise you. But also, like, okay, that's already out in the field. I like it's the idea of, like, he wants a family. This is a calming, mentory presence around here. Like, I like that. I like that's the reasoning of, like, why I want you to have, like, a face. Because it's not just, like, oh, I want to see your face in the smile. But it's, like, I'm someone who very much believes in, like, the rituals of humanity of, like, sharing a meal together and stuff like that. So, like, that being a part of this, of just, like, the earthliness of food and sharing it as a means of connection was, like, that meant something to me. On top of just, like, looking to somebody's smiling face.
He saw the lack of face. He saw the big hole, and he was like, that hole's too big. Face holes, smaller. Better.
I like because you don't see them a lot, or maybe I'm not looking in the right places. I like when it's, like, it's attractive lady, but she's also a goober, but she's also somewhat capable. Like, she's not just a joke, but it's, like, the moment she, like, falls into the water when teaching him how to fish, and she's like, oh, help me out! It's like... you don't see those characters. I love seeing characters like that.
She's missing most of her body parts.
Don't. I know, but I didn't know that at that time. But I like her weird mask design. Like, it just gives her this, like, weird. It gives her an Andy from Undead Unluck and Beethoven and an almighty air about her that I really enjoy.
I definitely need to give credit to this because the fact that she's missing her hands and stuff, like, you couldn't tell at the beginning, and then when you finally see it. It's like, oh, shit, was that there the whole time? Or not there the whole time, as it were?
Well, it's important illusions to maintain, you know. When Tezuka did it with Dororo, it was like a body covered in prosthetics that would, like, each time a body part was reclaimed, it would push out the prosthetic, whatever, but would look, for all intents and purposes, like a fully fledged human being prior to this. So it's like, it's the standard for this sort of story is set, and I think it does that relatively well. Is anybody else a little disappointed that Ko didn't grow like a huge fucking rack when he was possessed? Like, I feel like that would have been... I feel like there was some room for some gender shit there, and it just went...
I'm not going to say that. I'm sad. His design, it just looks like it's him wearing an outfit and he has Kaedegami out. That was, like, a thing... I guess to waste a bullet that will inevitably happen in high noon when Brad forces me at a different gunpoint. His design, it's not bad, but I wish it was more different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he needed massive tits, but, like, to your point, like, would it have been nice if you looked a little femmier or just demonic or something, and not just, it just looks like he had a costume change and had Kaedegami and not, like, a demon is possessing me as a thrall.
Yeah, because his design reminded me way too much of the Exorcist guy in... Oh, God.
Which one?
The one where at the end of the first chapter they say the name of the manga.
Shadow Complex? No, not Shadow Complex.
Yes. Shadow Eliminators.
Shadow Eliminators.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. See, I was thinking of two things. First of all, I was thinking of, like, any given young Jedi character in the Star Wars franchise because of his little braid.
Also I liked his braid. I like the braid as, like, a character thing.
Yeah, but also of the main character of the Jump Plus series that was also Manga Plus, Diamond in the Rough, to which this Ko just looks like an older version of that main character, but without a ruby leg.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
It's fine.
I like Ko's design. He could have. He's just got enough extra details, and that little Jedi braid is helping. But, like, maybe it's just the art style. So that's, like, my brain was like, you should be seeing this guy as a Protag-kun. Why aren't you? And I'm like, I don't.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's close enough to Protag-kun that
he's
it
got
would turn
just
you
enough.
off.
I don't know if it's just the braid or just the art design in general, but it's just like he just didn't clip. I had a moment while I was reading where I'm like, Brain, why aren't you pinging on this, and I'm just like, I'm not.
Is it because of the proximity to giant tits?
No, it was before. It was before I saw tits. It was when he was in town, and I looked at him, and I looked at the design. I'm like, there's just enough here that I like it. I don't know.
You know what I think it is? The way he carries himself is not Protag-kun.
Yeah, because he's somebody. He's Nice Boy. He's nice. He's continuing Nice Boy tradition, even though all the original manga that I covered from Nice Boy era are
Nice
over.
Boy, but he's not. His body language is, I'm capable in taking care of things and everything.
Yeah.
Like there's none of that sort of hesitation that you see a lot of times at the beginning of these kind of stories.
True.
If he's a nice boy, he is a nice boy in the same sense that Gon from Hunter x Hunter is a nice boy, which is to say, nice, but every now and then there's something he says or does that makes you think, this guy isn't quite right, because he's literally like, oh yeah, wear my body like a fucking skin suit if it gets you your face back.
It's
like he's not.
It's like I joked about it multiple times, but it's just, and maybe that's the new era that we are seeing now, the start of it, of the nice boy, but also I'm a crazed gremlin and will kill in a moment if I have to.
Well, he's
but not
literally
in a scary way, but not in like a I'm in danger way, but like, oh my fucking lord.
He's literally just Ichi via the main boy from Goku Rakugai. Like, it's...
There
isn't an original bone in this fucking manga's body.
No, but I like it. It's a solid meal made well. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, I know it's not... I can very clearly go like, yes, there's... I mean, you've already mentioned them. I fucking already mentioned Ichi. Like, this is made of so many other pieces. And we've seen manga that they feel like patchwork quilts and it's like a negative. But here it's just like... I like what it did. We had little grounded moments. We set up more of a universe. Like, it helps that, like, I like her character. She's not just, like, if she was just, like, I mean, again, it was nice to look at, but it's like, if she was just a sexy character, sure. And it's like, the camera ogles her. The characters in the universe never do it, but the camera of the artist does. But I appreciate that she's, like I said, it's like, she's acting as this mentor. She's kind of tsundere, but she's not really kind of too much. Like, it fits with the family themes already going on with our main character.
Well, and let's not
and her missing parts play into the things of these are things that would help make this more normal.
Something we unfortunately have to call out. She is an adult woman.
Yes.
So, points for that.
We get to ogle her, and we get to look at this, and, I mean, right now... The jury's not completely out. This is like a parent-child dynamic.
Yeah.
The jury is mostly there, but I would say that, especially for ending bits, it's like, I don't know if the jury is entirely there, but maybe it doesn't need to be.
I don't think you give a character that ample bosom without them having to fill some sort of motherly role.
Exactly.
Like it's clearly a maternal interaction.
We get to have the romantic relationship.
But the rest of her body is particularly
my son
maternal or anything. It's just... here's our default body and we've just slapped a pair of tits on it. It's not got a lot going on.
And a cool mask that I enjoy. I like Pretty Lady who is also capable but also goober, because I don't see it a lot.
I like that the mask has a third eye, which implies something that isn't really there otherwise. Like, does the mask come from someone else, or does Chio, like, in full-fledged form have a third eye going on? You know, it's like, is it connected to who she is, or is it just the state of the mask that's being used? And indeed, what is the mask and where does it come from? Like, you're given questions through the character design that are implicit in the text without ever being specifically pointed at.
I think this is well made.
Sure.
I don't think
competent.
It's the most incredible thing that's ever been, but it is a thing that resonated with me in particular, that I had a good time with, that I am on the hook and want to see what happens next. Intrigue was I got connected to the characters, and intrigue was built about what's going on and where we're going, both big and small. And that's what I need in these. We didn't rush. We didn't meet too many people. We didn't skip too much time. In fact, we were all time was contiguous unless we were flashing back.
This is the I think this is the best serious Exorcist manga that we've had anytime recently, because the other two Exorcist manga that I really enjoyed are both comedic.
Ichi does not count.
No,
Ichi counts. They're magical creatures. Is that not a yokai?
I guess it's close
in the way that this is, because I know they're so like because they're like god spirit beings. One lives inside of them right now. That's like fucking Sakuna as fuck, or any number of other older series that story pieces.
When you think about it, all manga are Exorcist series.
Yeah, that's
Baseball
true.
Exorcist series. I'm telling you,
I'm
you're
not-
totally losers for not thinking about it.
Sometimes you're trying to exercise your baseball field of the enemy team. You know, they're possessing the ground. You want them gone,
Yes!
Same idea.
I'm not gonna count it because it goes counter to my argument.
See baseball with a cross carved into it, like hell yeah.
Yeah, I
Field of
I
dreams,
like,
baby.
Only water the ball.
I liked Murakami,
You did. It was your baby, and it died.
and
And you're still salty about it.
I
Reasonably
like
so.
yeah, that.
I feel
the
so
other
bad
one.
with Murakami because I feel like I liked the first chapter, but I forgot about it so hard
Me
that we've
too.
still not covered it on Shonen Flop.
Wow, that's hardcore if you actively, because it's like there hasn't been, I mean, there is now because of Ember's going, but it's like a bunch of things for like the last 6 months have been like, you get to live.
It's literally.
I have been having
hilarious.
to fill fucking space this year because of how bad Shonen Jump's been at cancelling series.
I'm happy things
I-
got to live.
laughed every single
You
page
did.
of that series. It's so good.
Was somebody tickling you while you were reading it? That seems
Yes,
really
the
liked it.
author. It was tickling my brain.
It's tickling his funny bone. He liked it, and I
It was pretty good. I'm
I liked the
joshing,
first
but
chapter, and then I lost interest.
like
slightly,
I
but it doesn't
actually quite like that awful full stop. Like I thought Shugamaru was cute funny, not haha funny, but it was, you know, that's still worth a lot. I think One Piece and Love is cute. I think that Murakami was funny, like
matter.
actually
Do we want to
funny.
hoist me up and I now just to I'll take the heat off of you. B, I like Nice Prison a lot.
I liked what I read of it, but I just couldn't be asked to continue.
You're justified. It's literally just scratching Bobobo nostalgia for me in a way that
Yeah,
nothing else does.
my only real
honestly.
issue with it
but
is-
everybody else does. Brad hates it.
is something that was pointed out by Pow on the Shonen Flop Discord at Andy's Islands. One wonderful person, knows more about Jump than me, knows more about all manga than me.
Wow.
But he literally restructured some of the pages to go and show how the layouts weren't serving the jokes, and that really stuck with me because like it's so painfully true. But like the
believe
jokes are good, it's just that they're paced out on the page really badly. Which is, but no, I think it's decent. I think most of the people who have anything hateful to say about anything in Jump right now, wherever that be it on any sort of Discord or the like, are kind of just cynical about most things, and so
They're
I don't
wasting
pay
their
much
breath.
attention to what they say.
They're wasting your breath. Does not matter. Let's get back on track.
I just want to say, someday you're going to go back, you're going to read Murakami, you're going to be like, why did I wait so long?
Oh no, I've read all of it, and then I
Oh.
forgot to.
Yeah, and
you
then
said
they
you
forgot
didn't-
about it.
No, I forgot about it. It ended. I read all of it. I went, okay, we should cover this on the show, and then I forgot about it again.
I guess that's fair.
It's
It doesn't
like-
have legs. It's just hilarious.
Bits.
There's a character from the X-Men called Forget-Me-Not who his mutant power is that if he's not being looked at, you can't remember him.
Yeah.
And that's how that series interacts with my brain.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's get back on track.
He's the most powerful X-Men, so.
He's fantastic. He was in all the
I want to
important
talk about
events.
this Exorcist manga, please.
But why? It's got no meat on the bone.
It's got
Other
meat.
than-
It's got a soul. It has a heart.
I have
It's
to
not meat.
disagree
Those are
with
mounds
you,
of
B.
fat, and you know it.
No, it
I
also
think you're
has
too
fat.
focused on those big tits because they were right in your face. But
I think
there
you,
is
I think
something
you missed
going
the heart
on here.
underneath those big tits.
Well, no, because my hand can pass right through the tits to where the heart isn't.
That's a good point.
Point made. I'll
bone
bow. No, I
collection.
will not. I think the story works. I think Brad's point, unless what I would say, what you because you specified serious because I was
Yeah.
about to say Kiyoshi, and Kiyoshi is technically funny.
Kiyoshi, but like, yeah, this
Technically
does
funny.
not. This
Fucking
does
hell.
not go.
No. I didn't mean that hurtfully. I meant like it's it's having fun. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a Murakami in that it is an Exorcist one that is also a silly.
But
one.
it is comedic.
But it is
It's
comedic. It
capable
has
of
more of
serious
a, it has a more
moments.
of a cartoony energy to it than the other ones. That's
funnier
what I
than
meant.
shoujo.
It's very
We
graffiti.
need to stop talking about everything else in the magazine. This is the new. This is the now.
We have to talk about this.
I
No,
want to
please.
talk about it. Jeez, I like.
Oh,
this
wait.
story.
We specifically were like, B, you can join us for the second one if you want. And you're like, yeah, I'll stay.
And then they read it, and now they're regretting their choices.
No, because here's the thing. Like, I feel like I'm being really down on it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, it's like the most 3-star debut chapter of something in the world.
We have read some 3-star mumblecore chapters, and I would not say this is one. This one made me feel. I didn't have to think about feeling things. I just felt things.
Yeah, I think
I smiled.
It's definitely fair to say like it wasn't stellar, but it's certainly got things going on.
Sidcraft is a 2 to 3-star mumblecore first chapter. Embers is a 2 to 3-star mumblecore first chapter.
I don't agree with Embers.
2-star and 1-star respectively.
Okay, fine.
No, I think it's right. You can lose yourself in this and just feel it. Especially because that key dynamic between the two characters is really good and doesn't even necessarily need the expansion. You can feel it in the character writing, which is very praiseworthy.
Yeah.
And crucially, as much as I will dunk on this for being fine, middle of the road, like the series that keeps surviving in this magazine right now are like this. I'm not saying that this is New Age Exorcist.
It has a spark. However mid you describe it, because maybe it's just because like we've been covering other series besides Jump. I've read other first chapters. Like we had fairly recently we had Unintentional Killer's Row of newer stuff that I thought was incredible that wasn't in Jump. So maybe I'm grading more specifically to things we've covered in Jump, I guess, in this case. Yeah. And in this case, I had a better time than I was expecting. I felt something here, and I didn't have to go, oh, I liked that. My brain liked that. It's like, oh, I can say why. I can defend it. I had a good time, and I can defend it, even though your point is valid. It's like, this is not the most original thing. This is not the most, it's not exploring some new idea. Like, I like the art. The art's good. It has a design. It's not the most incredible new art. Like, there is nothing, like, sometimes when you've read so much garbage, sometimes something that's just doing things and has a pulse. And we've read stuff that, like, works, but I would not say that, like, it lacked heart. Shadow Eliminators, even though that was now over a year ago. But, like, there's a bunch of other Exorcist stuff that has just entered and exited my mind entirely that if I went and looked at a list, I'd go, holy shit, I forgot about those. You know.
It's like the second best looking series that's come out this year.
The author seems to care, and clearly their work on Fabricant 100 led them to draw things.
Oh yeah, and I think that says a lot to the quality of that assistant environment, because, like, regardless of the fact that it failed, Elk Itsuno, who is another assistant graduate of Fabricant 100 of Daisuke Inishima, did 2 on Ice, which was not a perfect looker, but it had a unique look that was, like, really arresting. And whilst I don't think this is quite that, like, this is incredibly competent. Incredibly competent.
It had fingerprints on it, which I liked, even if the art was kind of funky. It got better.
And that can't be said enough. Like, for that as a baseline for a rookie series is very rare.
Well, it makes me wonder, like, are we going to see the art continue at this level?
Okay, I figured out my phrasing. I figured out my direction, because I forgot when we covered. Literally, my brain just memory hold Oter. I don't feel like I have to write any checks that may or may not be cashed to go forward right now. Oter, I feel like I had to write checks that I wasn't sure will be cashed, and I feel like even if they're small time cash numbers, I feel like I don't feel like I had to go, well, they'll get it right in the next chapter in this one.
Okay, I agree with you. However, I would argue that the fact that you aren't writing any checks is due to the fact that this is fairly mid. It's not, there's nothing big.
Yes, but we've been disappointed. It can grow bigger. It didn't try to go, oh, look at all this stuff that it painted but wasn't clear about, that I have to write checks to go, oh, you rushed. Oh, I'm sure this, like,
it's a risk versus reward thing.
Yes,
and they aren't taking the risk.
Normally they fuck it up, because Oter instantly fucked it up, where I'm like, who is this? What's the situation? It's like, we're moving forward. We haven't made any of these dynamics. We didn't spend enough time, and we didn't, like, to B's point, it's like, for a person's opening outing, like, this was in a time that we see so many of these manga cars not put together well. This was put together well.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I say it like that with everything you say, calling it mid, maybe that's such a low. It's sad that that's such a bar that's not crossed as much as it should be.
Rather than mid, I would say that this is basic in a sense that everything
It's functional.
We need to know. No, everything is on the table now. Is the
It's
key
functional.
thing.
Parentheses respectfully.
Ota, you have to go.
Workmanlike, not workmanlike.
Yeah.
I use that badly.
So, like, Ota, you're having to say to yourself, where will this go? What will this be? You have to look at the potential for the future and whether it capitalizes on it. Spoilers, 7 chapters in? Not really.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I feel like I've got no question about where it's going to go because it's Dororo, which is fine. But crucially, everything in the first chapter is there. We can now say, okay, so it's going to do more of this. Yeah. Is it going to be Monster of the Week? Probably. Great. A new monster every week.
And now we get to build
sick.
from there. We get to go up from here. There's so many series that try to give you too much right out of the gate, and now it's like, will this thing that you've maybe didn't be something we're doing? And instead of just going, here's why you emotionally care, and week by week we can do more stuff. I mean, I always feel stupid because it feels like such a, like, oh, you're using the big cudgel on this when you go back to One Piece for things. But it's like, where One Piece starts and where One Piece now are incredibly different beasts. And you know what One Piece Chapter 1 starts with? An emotional connection point to create who's going... You get introduced to the world, and you get an emotional connection about what's going on. And then you get on your boat. Oda didn't do that. What's the fucking axe? Icehead Gill? Fuck that.
You can't beat him when it comes to axes.
Yep, he got it. Now. He sure was right.
This is just...
Sometimes you just need, like you said, it's all on the table, B. You have to build a table that can actually support things, and it's not banking on me going, I've seen tables built before. This table will be a table that can hold things in the future, right? That's how tables work. And you know what? This is a table that can hold things, which is not true of the majority of the first chapters of manga we have read in Shonen Jump over the past 2 years of doing this series. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's a good analogy.
Change my mind.
There is a series from the last 2 years that very famously had an incredibly solid first chapter that had everything on the table, and then it was like, okay, well, we'll go from here, and it fell apart massively. And that was Hideo Shinkai's Earthchild, a series that had such a solid foundation from the first chapter, such a well-polished art style, and then it went fucking off the rails from chapter 2 through till the end. So there are risks involved.
Yes, but there's a bunch of ones that don't build the table that also go off the rails.
Yes, but
I have so much evidence behind me.
What I'm saying is,
hey, listener, go into your podcast app and scroll through all of our episodes and then try to change my mind.
How good the table is doesn't matter that much from the first chapter because it can still go wrong. The question is instead, rather than is the table strong enough, it's do you feel like you have faith in the creator at this point that they don't just have this table, but they also have a tablecloth ready to go over it. They've got some cutlery ready to place over the table, some nice plates, some chairs to tuck under. Like, do you feel like they can create the other component pieces to make this a complete situation, or is it just a table that someone's going to get powerbombed through later on? Usually the person that built it, because that's how wrestling works.
Yes. Could be fine that way, too.
I have faith. I have faith just because so many of these new Jump ones tried to write too many checks right out of the gate that they couldn't catch. Like, clearly I have to have faith that this thing that wasn't done very well will be settled in. Oh, we'll spend more time and we'll make an emotional connection. It's just like, if you can't swing from chapter 1 and you're trying to race the race car while you're trying to build it instead of just building a functional car and driving it, like, that's going to go better. Because once you have a functional car, then you can add to it. There's already something stable going on here.
So what I'm hearing here is...
It's a sedan. This manga is a sedan. But we've seen too many race cars that are incomplete and trying to race and drive way too fast, but they're incomplete, so they just fall to fucking pieces.
What I'm saying to you now is what you're telling me is that this is better than Hakutaku, a manga where we had to generate our own sense of queerness within it to find something to like.
That's what I'm saying. I forgot you were on that one, but yes, I don't.
That is the lowest bar you could possibly.
I know. It's sad that I have to do. I haven't had to invent anything about why. Like, there's no shortcomings that are not just. It's not swinging.
There's no paper over in the cracks ourselves because we want to like something.
Yes,
Everything is here to like. It's just the degree to which people like it on this particular episode.
Yes,
Hakutaku.
Low key.
Hakutaku, a series that would greatly benefit from someone being power bombed through a table.
Yeah, a wrestling game.
That's why it's called White Table.
Yeah.
So I guess what? Where do we think it's going? What do we want more? What do we want less of? Monster of the Week, I don't think is a bad idea. Ichi did that. I think honestly, I think
fine
that's a
with
strong
that.
start.
Yeah.
I think that's what you do. You spend some time just meeting your characters. We don't have to instantly speed. Like, we do not need to sprint towards the fuller, like, this is exactly what we're doing next. Here's the next arc. Like, just let me settle in. I hate people who don't like that anymore. Like, I liked Ichi for doing that. Just because I've been thinking again, even though it's not a manga at all, but it's very manga inspired. Like Steven Universe does that, where it's like for a while it just does Monster of the Week, and it slowly drip feeds you bigger picture stuff, and then once you've got enough stuff and then you got momentum, you roll into that.
Yeah.
And right now this feels like it has all the pieces that it can just do that, and that's all I want out of it. That's all I want out of it. I know maybe my brain has been warped that we've had so much shit that my stuff has gone down, but like honestly, just sometimes it's nice to have something nice and cozy.
I think about older series, Naruto, Bleach, that kind of thing.
Yep.
I mean, I guess even not Jujutsu Kaisen. I was thinking maybe Jujutsu Kaisen, but
No,
Jujutsu Kaisen
Kaisen's first chapter.
sprinted.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen.
It's a fucking mess of a first chapter.
Oh, it is. I said that. When we did our mag dump on that, and I read that first chapter, and I'm like, I know I like this. I've read this chapter multiple times. I've seen the anime first season at least 3 times by virtue of sharing it with friends. And it's like, if I did not know there was more manga after this, and we had it literally like it just dropped, like this one is, and I read that first chapter, I would have said Jujutsu Kaisen's garbage. I would have not bet anything on it, and then it became highly successful. Even if the wheels came off, there was some great stuff in there, but I would have not said it would have survived long enough to get there if I only had that first chapter originally during this podcast.
But another one, Demon Slayer. Like, I think
Demon Slayer's
about...
first chapter was good when we read it.
But not just
Incredible
first
first
chapters, but like the first chapter and on for a while, where they do just sort of explore the world and do Monster of the Week kind of stuff until you get to a bigger picture.
That's what I want.
But you don't ramp it up immediately.
Don't toss me directly into the hot tub or cold plunge. Like, let me ease me into it. Like, make me care. Let me have fun.
It's absolutely worth mentioning that Demon Slayer almost died early on.
That's hilarious.
Like, obviously, we think of it as like one of the biggest sales juggernauts possible, but like until it had the UFO table anime coming up, like that series was doing sub 20k some volumes. Like it's a like it. I always think it was good. It's a miracle that it worked out.
I'm a human who will very quickly tell you the quality of the anime to the manga and the quality of the story the anime is adapting. And
I mean, I don't
between those two things.
I don't particularly like anime, so I don't know.
You're fine, but yeah, no, the anime is far superior, and even then, like getting to where it is now in the story, and it's just like, oh my goodness gracious, this writing is not.
There's some things that.
But we keep
are
watching.
just...
I stopped watching My Hero, so I can't throw stones.
Yeah, I stopped reading My Hero as well. Like I really should try and finish that series. I've not got much left in it.
Did you already read Vigilantes? Do that instead, or you already did? We've talked about it. I'm pretty sure.
I've just been reading lots of Batman.
Good.
He's like
you
a
do not
man,
need to
but
always
he
be
wears
reading
a
manga.
bat
I know this is a
costume.
manga podcast, but I continue to go read the things that make you smile.
Not everyone needs to read 47 chapters a day like I do.
I'm still reading like thousands of comic pages a day. I'm just not reading a lot of Jump, which is still sacrilege.
Good.
Thousands a day?
I cannot stress enough, Brad. I'm very fucking unemployed.
Oh, I didn't know you were unemployed. I'm sorry, bud. We should cut this. This is a very personal conversation now.
No, it's funny. Hopefully, by the
It's
time
not.
this comes out, I'll have a job somehow. But no, unlikely. We'll see.
20,
tomorrow.
24 to 48 hours. Yes, I also hope that. I'm going to be genuine in this moment. I also hope this.
No, I was just thinking back, like at the height of COVID, when I was reading
a lot,
200, 300 pages a day.
Those are some times.
Actually, no, that's wrong to say. I was reading 200 chapters a day. So, yeah, maybe 1,000 pages a day. That's probably about right.
When I was in hospital at the start of this month, I had no energy for anything but reading. So all I was doing was just tearing through comics. Like I can't even imagine the like actual page counts I was getting through. But it was, I don't know if I retained all the information, but fuck me, I read a lot.
When you're locked in, you can. And there's nothing else pulling you away.
Yeah, man, just stick me in a hospital like 24/7. I will get through my unreads.
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean, if you need it, but not all the time, unless you need it.
We'll see. I have to get these tonsils out, and I'm told that in your
that's
30s, that's like real bad. So, what? Sorry, I'm talking about medical operations instead of this really fine comic.
Maybe there's a yokai that can take your tonsils out.
I mean, if they take my face off, that's maybe the
I want to
tonsils come
take his
with.
face off. Dang it! I've just wasted my ending joke.
Yeah, imagine.
Let's go. Brad, I want to put her face
Would you
on. Cut that in.
Would you rather that this series were John Travolta or Nicolas Cage?
Playing who?
Nick Cage. Yeah,
I went Nick Cage,
not Travolta.
I went Nick Cage playing the lady with huge knockers.
Yeah.
What if it
Nick
was
Cage with huge knockers?
What if it was John Travolta in that film directed by the frontman of Limp Bizkit, where he's playing like an autistic guy, and he's like, I can't hang out long.
Fanatic?
I need to go poo. Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen it, but I've heard humans talk about it on a podcast many years ago.
It's a magical film. Like I can never doubt John Travolta as an actor, because that is a level of commitment to dog shit that is just magical.
Okay, let's land this plane.
We're not landing yet.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. So I just want to list all the things that this is quickly. So, what we got? Dororo, Metaphor Ari Fantasio, because it's got heterochromia. God of War, because it says the words God of War in it. Bone Collection, because you can reach inside the titty. Goku Rakugai. Itchy the Witch, of course. Nue's Exorcist, because it's an Exorcist series. Blue Exorcist, because it's an Exorcist series. Seraph at the End, because it's kind of similar to Seraph at the End, actually, in how it looks.
I was thinking Nue's Exorcist for a different reason.
So my one thing I'll say as a hope for the future is I hope it becomes its own thing with an identity, because like at the moment what we've got is a really good character
It's
dynamic.
Chinese. It's different.
Oh, of course. So it's Dragon Ball as well. Sorry.
They were right there to just instant just home run right out of the gate from that counter pitch. Incredible.
Again, I mostly Josh. Like, all
No,
points are very interesting.
your points are justified. Like
Yeah.
this is a patchwork quilt of other things.
If
better
you were
or for ill.
if you were to have read any issue of Jump Square from when it debuted in late 2007 through to the present day, there would be at least 2 series that are also this. Like, this is so dime a dozen for the sorts of things Jump Square runs, but in a way, it's kind of to its benefit to be a Weekly Shonen Jump, because here it feels fresher, and it also didn't have to do over 70 pages for its first chapter, so it was a much tighter story. So it's like, it's weird. It's like, on the one hand, bad because like everything else, on the other, good because in an environment where it's a little different.
Solid. If it can live long enough, it could flower. I'm hopeful.
It could.
I'm hopeful.
I feel like this will probably run about as long as Nue's Exorcist does, however long that will be.
That's really long. Honestly, that's a
That's
compliment.
been like a few
As much
years
as
now,
we
I
all don't
think.
like Nue's Exorcist.
I'm absolutely baffled by the
And
fact that that's still going.
I forgot that it's in the magazine entirely. Because
Well,
I was like,
yeah,
oh,
'cause
it's like what are the other like proper Exorcist manga now that Jujutsu Kaisen's done? I'm like,
Well,
oh,
you have to say to yourself, what was the last Exorcist series where its main focus was on a woman who has boobies, And that's the answer. Because
Aichi the Witch.
Bleach?
Yeah, no, because Itchy the Witch is like respectful and stuff because she looks pretty. But like Nue's Exorcist is in that same etchy-ish vein where it's like, hey, there's a lady here that's like
Sure, it is more. Ichi isn't as ogly.
And they
I would like to ogle that boy though.
they clearly care
Not the
about
boy
this
boy, the
cast
other
because
boy,
she's
the
got
freckled
things
one.
like a different
The one who
level of
grafts
skin tone
magic
for the
things
palms
into
of
his
the hands.
body.
I should catch up on Itchy the Witch. That's one that I did want to return to sooner, and I've just
You have
not
to
had
meet
the
the
energy.
boy with freckles. He's adorable.
Boys with freckles everywhere. I'm in England. We all have some.
Yeah, but I don't think they're as jacked and cute looking as this one.
That's a good point.
He's very envy.
I don't particularly find anything other than Descaris. I don't think Shiro Isazaki has a particularly cute art style.
You haven't met the boy. He's very envy.
Well,
he's very.
I'll
He's very.
I'll report
very.
back
The
on
word
that
I can't
one.
think of
Well,
right now. Whatever.
Keep an eye out to the end of this year. We'll run a Shonen Jumping the Gun fuckability special where we just talk about all the cute
That'll be
characters in
episode
manga.
100.
Yes, let's.
No, that'll be we'll make it a Baka Banashi and make it the Fuck Olympics.
Yeah, we could do that.
Hey, you two, what are your thinky thinks and feely feels on this manga whose name escapes me because my tablet's not in front of me and it's a word that I don't know what it is?
And this is how we know you love it, is because the name sticks in your mind.
Well, it doesn't help because it has no English words in it and it's a word that I don't know and I'm bad at saying out loud. And also I just read it less than 12 hours ago.
Bakagami.
Shh, I'm just trying to be a dick. Don't respond with reasons.
I think and feel that this is good to great.
Respected.
And that's it. I have no other information to
That's
give.
very valid.
I wasn't kidding when I said mid, but I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way.
That's why we have the parentheses. The parentheses are very important because sometimes mid could be, like, again, workmanlike. I mean, workmanlike is usually, I use it insultingly, but it can be good. I think this is good, parentheses, solid. I feel that it's great. I had a really great time with it.
I think this is... let's say... I think this is solid, because I can't go over how competent the art is.
Yeah.
I feel this is fine.
Valid.
Yeah.
Would you buy? Would you keep reading? Would you buy?
I mean, reading, I think, is pretty easy.
Yep.
But my bar for reading is
I know, but it's a
low.
question again because I'm, especially with Jump stuff, it's a thing because it's like, well, now I have to keep up. It's either I'm keeping up with this or I'm not.
Right.
And in this case, I am.
And
so,
generally speaking, with Jump stuff, it's like I'm not going to figure out that I'm not going to keep reading this for a while. It would have to be really either bad or not my thing in the first chapter for me to go, no, I'm not gonna.
I think this will keep me with that idea. I think this will keep me on because I'm not like waiting for checks to be cashed in chapter 2.
That said, I don't
really shits the
think
bed, which anything could.
I don't think that I would buy this.
I would buy this, which I feel like has already been felt by my conversation about it. Boo, your position.
I genuinely don't know if I'll remember to keep reading this.
It's totally valid.
Yeah.
Don't. Your mental health comes first. Don't feel bad about it.
I'll
tell you about it.
No, it's not even that. It's
Your
just,
mental health. Don't think that you have to read entertainment.
It just
don't think you have to read entertainment that you don't feel things about.
Yeah, like I don't think it necessarily sticks in the mind. I feel like if I remember, it will become habit forming because there's absolutely nothing offensive about it.
That's true. It could literally
is,
just be like, I'm just consuming this because it doesn't hurt me in any way.
I don't like that.
So much
I'm not
of
consuming it like that, though.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Here, I will read the next couple of chapters, and if I go, hey, something's going on here, I'll let you know, and you don't have to waste your time.
I'm at least gonna do the next one because I think I want to see if it can form its own identity amongst all the things it's learning from.
A chapter 1 to a chapter 2 is a big jump.
Do you have a particular number of chapters you normally give something?
No, it literally is. I will read something until I get to the point where I think, oh, this is going to sound like the most conceited shit ever. In my mind, a first chapter should always feel like a 5-star experience. The second, something feels like it is below the line of average, so anything less than 3 stars, it is guaranteed gone. But something can still be around 4 stars, and I'll just think, I can't be arsed.
I think that's fair.
I think promisability. What was it called? It was one of the first things we covered, and we talked about it endlessly in the Discord every time a chapter came out. This is now like over a year ago, if not 2 years. The name is escaping me. It was like a hero, and heroes and villain and demons from other universes came in.
Mama Yu?
Mama Yu. My brain keeps going Haku Taku, and I'm like, no, because it's a Beep Boop Bapu title.
I think Mama Yu is a perfect example of that because
so Mama Yu had promise, and that's what kept going back, even though it kept pissing me off.
Well, and this is the thing, because I think the way I think of 5 stars for an ongoing series is different to how I would think of it for a complete... Because a complete one, you're giving it a whole assessment based on the complete meat. But, for something ongoing, it's like, is it something where I'm like, I'm ready for more, I'm getting something out? It's the feeling of meatiness.
Am I moving?
And Mama Yu, even in its early chapters, when the panel-to-panel storytelling is experimental, brackets, shit... it's still really interesting because you're analysing something about it. And when the volumes came out, side note, the volumes are out in English now, highly recommended, because it has
the ending.
Gotta read the extra chapter.
Across the final 2 volumes, it has about 180 pages of new material. It has an entire volume's worth of epilogue and a whole fight reinserted. It is like Shaman King re-release levels of adding more material in, and it makes it from an exciting experimental series to just actually a really fucking good comic.
Those aren't on digital, right?
They are not in the vault. You have to buy the digital volumes, which are
They're in
they're like $6 a pop, I think. I'm not sure.
Which is not a bad price, but that's
oh no, like for what you're getting, considering
I might not.
like if you're gonna get the digital volumes, just get those last 2 volumes. The volume extras aren't worth it for the other things. You just want that new material because that is it's so much. The last time I can think of anything doing that was like Build King having a whole bunch of extra chapters, and that was a piece of shit. So who cares?
coming up on Heaven or Hell arc, Build King.
Yeah.
Don't spoil things.
And you won't remember. That's going to be in like 4 months from now.
That's true.
And this is not Mama Yu, but I think
it has
the
like,
potential.
That's the weirdness of like Mama of complicated potential.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like I've seen that either in a while.
Whereas this is like soothing potential. Whatever you're going to get next is going to have a baseline of quality that is way above what you normally get.
Somebody
from a
understood
debut.
how to tell an emotional story. Even if it was basic, they did it because that's a weirdly higher bar than you'd think to cover. I guess
again, you can say that for this series absolutely is that like this has an emotional astuteness one would not usually associate with Weekly Shonen Jump.
Yeah, that's what the tits are for.
That is what the tits are for.
I mean, look, you guys read Hero Girl, Healer Boy, like.
We did.
You
did.
You know the level of emotional astuteness a big old rude pair of titties can add to a work.
No, it's all about that ass.
It's all about the ass. It's all about the booty.
We're out of that arc.
Out of that arc.
Okay.
Even though I felt like we were kind of back in that arc in this chapter.
So I would like to force you to do High Noon again.
Okay.
Because you are the opposite way on this one.
So I have to, as the enjoyer, I have to say something I don't like about it, and B has to say something they like about it. But they have an art that neither of us have said yet.
Yeah, and I feel in this case that B might be on the back foot on this one.
Oh, I'm definitely on the back foot. I'm trying to think of anything like massively else. Hold on, what have I got?
I've already said that I don't like the name because
folks, they're taking their 10 paces.
I don't know what it fucking is, and I can't remember it. It's like a kryptonite to my brain. It's the Forget-Me-Not X-Men.
Okay, so this is like, again, it's the faintest praise you can go and give a black and white manga, but those color pages are vivid. Oh my they're well done.
Which fuck, Jesus Christ, man.
They'll look real good in grayscale when the volumes come out.
Oh,
fuck! That's dirty. That's dirty. I wish the design of the monster was cooler and more like his design does not give me a lot of faith for creativity in future monster designs.
Yeah, it was sort of like always in shadow.
He's scary and like blah blah, but he wasn't like, oh, there's a clear idea going on here outside of it's a yokai.
The fact we got no sense of morphology or identity as to what it's supposed to be when it's like a face stealing a monster. Like, I want there to be something I can look up and be like, oh my god, what a cool sort of monster this is from like real fucking mythology. And it's like real mythology. Fuck me, that's a sentence.
It's a blended mythology, which means they get to pick and
again at the beginning.
Yeah. Well,
Like, I thought it was a kappa.
I've taken it as given that like it's built on the actual concept of Shenguai, but they could just be stealing that word and having it just be monsters. You know?
That's what I thought was going on.
It doesn't need to be exact.
So it's like
I'd rather you have ideas.
I think I should take a it's not that deep view of that aspect, which is fine because again it's deep on the character writing front, which is the thing I'm going to cling on to and be like, this is the thing I really like about this.
You can't do everything all at once in a first chapter. You have to pick your
and
battles.
not when you're a rookie. Like
also
again,
true.
I have
We've
to.
We've seen so many rookies just not understand the basics of storytelling or making a connection to the character. We've stated many of them across this episode and the prior episodes you probably heard, hopefully.
Well,
see Dear Anemone, where everybody's the worst.
I am gonna call that both of you are dead because that was awful.
Just shooting ourselves in the feet.
Yep.
B shot me in like the guts, and they coated their bullet in something, and I just sort of had a horrible like. It was like the freaking Punisher. It's like
you got sepsis.
All your guts are gonna fill up with shit now, and you're gonna die a horrible death, and that's what happened to me.
how can I turn praise into reading for filth? And I'm just like, yeah, I got this.
I at least clipped them cleanly, you know. We both died, but at least they got to have a clean one.
Right.
Just nice and right in the head. Turn it off. Me like, oh, fuck, I can feel it.
Oh, okay. Let's crash this plane.
Let's crash this plane. I'm starving. Brad, fill me with them plugs. Hit me with them plugs. Plug me with them hits.
So,
Say the words.
as apparently what I'm going to do from now on, I'm going to throw it over to our guest to give their plugs first while everyone is still listening before they hit the skip button.
True believers who don't listen to the beeps, the best part of the podcast.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Let Me BB, which is where I do my living album list, every album ever ranked. It's not really every weekday now, it's just 5 times a week minimum. I add albums to a living ranking where we get to learn what the best things are and what the worst things are. You might say to yourself, oh, where's Limp Bizkit's chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water? And you'll go, higher than it should be. And that's all you need to know.
What's your current worst rated?
Ooh.
Okay. So the current worst rated is
the highest rated.
It is actually something that is, I think, genuinely miserable. It's the Shag's philosophy of the world, which was this dad basically had like a fortune teller tell him that his daughters would form the greatest band in existence, and so he basically threw instruments at them and forced them to make the most excruciatingly terrible music. It doesn't just border on abuse. Like, out of those, like, 3 daughters, like, 2 of them are pretty fucked up. Like, it's absolutely fucking wretched. There's this one song, I think it's about either a cat or a cow, called My Pal Foot Foot. It is unlistenable.
What? That's not what I was expecting with a name like the Shags. I can't even tell you. Like, one day if I feel like punishing you, I will like link one of the songs to you. It's not music. Kurt Cobain loved it in a sort of like anti-art sense. What a sentence!
But like it's fucking.
Kurt Cobain
wretched.
loved it in an anti-art. I'm gonna start using that. I love this in an anti-art way.
Yeah. But to give you one that's probably a little more known, towards the bottom, 4 spaces from the bottom, Gwen Stefani had an album last year called Bouquet, which was her country album.
Gwen Stefani had an album last year?
Oh, yeah, where she basically said, "Hey, I love being a trad wife. Knock me up more, baby." And this has also followed her massive embrace of Christian social media platforms, like advertising stuff with Ash on her forehead, being like, "It's Ash Wednesday, contribute to this stuff."
Paid. Okay.
Oh, Gwen Stefani is like massively down like the tradwife fucking path, which she always was. We just didn't know. She was doing interviews saying, "Oh yeah, I want to have 15 babies," you know, like. She dreamed of being barefoot and pregnant, whilst like her family and friends were like, "Be in a ska band," you know.
The girl
few times have been around that block.
Yes, the
girl who sings Spiderwebs is a
yes.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a hell of a fucking thing.
It's bananas. BANANAS.
I think doesn't she guest on some? This song's get funnier now. Because I think she guests on some Real Big Fish songs. That's basically because I think they were dating. I don't remember.
She didn't necessarily guest on them, but at least one is about how she's more famous than Aaron Barrett. And
yeah.
So he's like, "Oh man, yeah, I'll go and like see you at a show," and you'll be like, "Oh, you're a fan," and it's like, "No, I used to date you. What the fuck?"
She used to be my girl, but now she's famous.
Exactly.
But I think there's another one where he talks about cutting his penis off to be with her. Unless
she had nothing to do with that song. She has a girlfriend now. That's what
it was. Yeah.
Oh, who was that with?
I don't know who that is. If that's not her.
Oh god, that's gonna drive me. Because the thing is I know in later live versions it was Rachel from Soul of the Rock and Roll Destroyer who was filling in the role, but the original role was another woman from a different ska band.
Oh, I
mean, amazing song, really. Like, because the thing is when you're younger and you hear someone being like, "Oh yeah, I'll cut my dick off and wear a bra," you know, like you think to yourself, "Oh, how funny," and then you get older and you go, "That sounds pretty good actually."
Getting older and learning about trans people that made the context of that song, even though it was clearly not written in that context, kind of funny.
The amount of vaguely misogynist comedy ska music that as you get older just turns into queer positive anthems is remarkable.
Very strange.
And nearly all of them are by Real Big Fish.
Well, that's just a small taste of what you can expect if you check out B's stuff on Blue Sky.
Yes.
Also, shonenflop.com. I researched for them.
Find
Completely
links
forgot
in the
we were doing a
description.
podcast.
Yeah. Shooting shit.
As for our plugs, of course, we need to thank Sugoi Mart for partnering with us. Sugoi Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch. All kinds of cool stuff you can't get outside Japan. Our listeners can click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off their order. And we want to hear from you, so hit us up on social media, which you can find links for on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. The best place to talk to us is Discord, where B also hangs out, so you can come on there and chat with all of us. You can also find a link to our Patreon up there. Our supporters get perks like getting to vote on what we cover on heroin addiction, getting bonus episodes, as well as getting the high-quality stereo version of this podcast early. And for these dropping the day the series comes out episodes, that's even more important. So make sure you check that out. And of course, we have to thank our patrons. So first and foremost, at our noble tier, we have our marquee, Sir Cake Dwarf. At our reincarnator tier, we've got Moon. And last, and certainly not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Last Man on Earth, Rena, and Laura Carroll. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you to all our patrons. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Brad, for saying all those things. Thank you, B, for guesting with us. Make sure you listen to all the podcasts on our feed. And I think the one thing this manga was really missing to truly experience the Mama Boy series is that she never called him boy. I mean, if I want the boom, what I do is I just sort of stand there for like a minute, and then the hand comes in and goes boom, and then I have like a terrible body that looks bad wrestling, but everyone likes me anyway. Adam
I have
Cole,
no
he's
idea
fine.
what's going on right now.
I'm trying to think of an intro, how I'm going to say the intro, so I've been a little checked out. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what that was, B. I'm sorry.
What was the bit? I was a human who should have been listening, and I wasn't, and I'm sorry for being off.
So I was just dissing Adam Cole and his scrawny body.
Don't be mean to Adam Cole. He's from where I live right now.
He's
I don't
like
think
the
he lives here
loveliest
still.
person in the entire
He's
industry.
such a gold. I like
and I
learning
just
that he
hate
had such.
seeing him wrestle.
Learning he was such a golden retriever of a human, like he was like, and he lived and grew up where I live now. Was very like, oh.
So it's like I'll stand in
I haven't
front,
seen him wrestle in ages, so yeah, I can't speak to what his wrestling is like. But as a human being,
he's got like a
seems pretty
championship belt, and I still don't see him wrestle.
great. I guess that's his style. He doesn't wrestle.
Yeah.
Kaedegami.
Kaedegami.
Yes.
Kaedegami. I always sound like I'm going Italian when I'm trying to pronounce Japanese. That's terrible. It's like, this is why I can like read it all right, but not speak it well at all. Kaedegami. It's not even Italian.
What's the bit?
What's the bit?
Yeah.
She's got giant tits.
Yeah, I know! It's exciting! But that's not what I want to lead with.
Have you ever played Final Fantasy VIII?
I think I know
No.
of Final Fantasy VIII.
There's this one scene where like the main character is having to reckon with himself in a dream world, and he sees his own face, and it's just a hollow void. And that's all I could think of while reading this.
Okay.
Doesn't really help for an intro, but I was just
No,
like...
actively didn't help.
You know what I got?
You would be like,
I got Uzumaki vibes off
Yeah,
of that.
Uzumaki vibes. Okay, no, focus,
I
homies.
don't like Junji Ito, so...
He's not Ben.
He's not
They're
Ben.
not Ben. They're not British Ben. Okay, no, focus! I need to do this. I'm sorry. You're the one up late. I still need to eat dinner.
Oh yeah, push it out.
On today's
Kaedegami, because you want to chew on them titties.
No!
Good, but no.
If an exorcist is raised in the woods, was it really parenting?
Okay.
I'll pick one of those.
Stitch them together into a horrible Frankenstein.
Layer them all over the top.
I'll probably just take earlier when
Cacophony.
you said it properly and just stick it in.
Just stitch it in as obviously as possible. Cut to seemingly now. We should make a supercut of all of those. Cut to blankety blanky blank. It'll be really funny. I feel stupid. Also, I'm hearing Discord noises.
Just ignore that.
I know. Cut that bit. Like,
Keep it in.
Boy.
Is that how you think that line is acted? He goes, boy.
yeah.
Boy.
Did you not play the video games?
I played like the first 30 minutes and then I uninstalled it because I was running out of space on my Steam Deck. But I've got to come back to it.
I don't know how I became this human. This is after beeps. This is that ended on boy.
It's literally after the beeps.
Literally after the beeps. I don't know how I became this human because I'm not this human on any other video game. But I 100%ed God of War Ragnarok on hard mode.
Jesus.
And I don't know how because I am not that human. I cannot play a Dark Souls game to save my life. But there was just something about those games. I just love the combat and everything in it that I just did all of it. Even the extra super uber hard boss fights. I have no idea how. Because that is not
I love when
other
you
case.
have that moment with a video game, because I don't 100% a lot of things, but it's when it really gets in you. I usually get out with sort of like point and clicks or puzzle games, or I'm so obsessed with Power Wash Simulator, I'll fall asleep playing it all the time because it's especially now like. So I lost all my save files for it, and I was like, "Great!" Because
It's
I
a
didn't
blessing.
do
You
the
get to play. You get to do everything again in a way that feels like progress again.
yes, and because I didn't bother with the achievements the first time, which are usually like doing things in a certain order or certain tools, and I was like, a perfect opportunity to do it. God, that game's special. It's like owning a Zen garden, you know.
Oh, do you want another? Because this is I played it because it was on Game Pass, but I think it's like Crime Scene Simulator. And you're somebody like that you're like, there's like a vague story with some voice acting, which is not well directed because there's a couple lines that he just says wrong. It's like, that's not how you say that word or what the bit is.
I think anything that's like got simulator in the name, you just roll with. You'd like
True. But it's like you're like, it grows with everything you're doing, but it's like, oh, you have to go in, you have to go find and bag the bodies, you have to like pick up all the trash and throw that out, you have to scrub all the blood away, like you have to pick up evidence, like.
Oh,
and it is very similar to Power Washer. It's just like, oh, this is very like,
yeah,
there's a certain zenness to it.
Is this the mopping game?
Yes, but there might be another mopping game you're thinking of. But this does have a mop with a bucket. You have to get water.
Yeah, and the
Viscera
bucket
cleanup
gets,
detail.
The Viscera cleanup
duty
duty is what I'm thinking of, which is like the same idea. And that game was always a thrill, even though mops don't work like that. Like it's. There is something nice about anything where you just clean up a thing.
Yeah, I just want to clean up. Like I like the idea of it's like, oh, I clean up all the blood. I put everything. You put objects back where they're supposed to be, and there's just something like, even though it's simple, it's just very satisfying, and also piecing together like what the heck happened here.
I've taken to theft games. That's the thing. That's as opposed to cleaning, I prefer to take things.
Instead of putting things back, you like removing them.
I mean, I have fond memories of playing Thief 2 on the PC back in the day.
A little bit different.
Firing a water arrow and going, oh, now it's wet.
Ladies.
Oh, we have fun around here.
Okay. B, I free you from your prison sentence. You're free to leave.